Last time we looked at Home Assistant's WebSockets API. This time, let's learn how to use MQTT for home automation. Home Assistant has a REST and a WebSockets API and also an MQTT integration. MQTT is a lightweight protocol designed for Internet of Things, specifically optimized for low power, low bandwidth devices that might occasionally lose connection and then resume a connection after a while. The way it works is client devices interact with a centralized message broker. Clients will publish data to that centralized message broker, and other clients that have subscribed to receive notifications about specific topics will then receive those notifications from the centralized message broker. So you have your client and your broker, and you have clients pushing data to that message broker and also receiving data from that message broker. Let's get started in our Home Assistant dashboard. The first thing that we'll need is to create a new user or person to be using the MQTT integration, unless you want to be using this at your root level, using your own personal credentials. But for safety's sake, I'm just going to create a new user. So under Settings, go to People, Manage who can access your home. I currently only have myself. The bottom will add a person and allow the person to log in. And this is optional, but I'm going to only let this user log in from the local network where my Home Assistant instance is running, and create and confirm. So here is the user that I'll be using to access my MQTT integration. The next thing that we'll need is to add a mosquito broker or a message broker. So let's go to Settings and go under Add-ons. Run extra applications next to Home Assistant. So go to the add-on store and we'll look for something that helps us interact with MQTT, and that's this message broker called Mosquito Broker. And we'll need to install and then start this add-on. This might take a few minutes. So now we have our message broker installed and running. The next thing that we'll need is to add the MQTT integration. So again, under Settings, we're going to look under Devices and Services. You can see Integrations is here. And Home Assistant may have discovered the MQTT for you, but if you don't see MQTT here under Discovered, you can add the integration manually under Add Integration, and we'll configure it. And once it's configured, it'll show below the configured section here. So let's take a look at it. And Home Assistant has a way for you to rudimentarily publish and subscribe. That's that pattern of communication where you publish data and listen to a specific topic, and you can see to make sure it's working. But one more thing is we'll reconfigure MQTT, and we'll want to make sure we update the username and password with that role we created. So instead of using it at the root level, we'll enter that user information here. And there's some additional parameters that you could take a look at if you're familiar with MQTT, like last will and testament or retain messages in case the client falls offline. You can configure that there. Otherwise, we will save our changes. Okay, once again, we can use Home Assistant's interface right here to test PubSub, but let's take a look at how we can do it a little bit more easily in the next step. I'm logged into Postman and I'm looking at a public workspace called Program Smart Lights. There's a couple collections here, including the Home Assistant WebSocket API that we looked at in the last video. This time we'll fork this collection here containing a single request to our own workspace so that we can edit and make changes. Okay, so the fork's created. Let's go over to that workspace where we forked our collection and load up our request. So you can see the details about the connection. We're going to be trying to make a connection with homeassistant.local. And then there's other information that's very common in MQTT, a message payload that we'll be sending to a specific topic. topics that we can subscribe to receive notifications about any data published to that topic, and also authorization. So in the first step, we created a new user to interact with our MQTT integration. We'll need that here. Right now, these placeholders have not been defined, but you can see the variables that we're using are at the scope collection level. So let's define our credentials now. Let's select our collection. Under variables, you'll put in your own information that you have previously created in the Home Assistant dashboard. And I'm in a personal workspace now. You can see by this single person icon, but you'll want to be very careful. If you're working in a team workspace or a public workspace, make sure to keep any secrets that you want to keep secret under the current value only. These will not get saved to any instance anywhere. It won't get saved to your account, and if you log out and then log back in again, you won't even have this current value, and you'll need to get it from the Home Assistant dashboard. So I'll just leave it like this, but make sure to save the changes and then go back to our request. Okay, so let's send a message that's text hello to a topic everything/smart/home. Let's connected to the broker, the Mosquito broker that we enabled and have running on Home Assistant, and send our message. Okay, so you can see by the up arrow that the Postman client, I'm using Postman as my client device to send information to my message broker. Well, you can also subscribe. Remember, clients can pub and sub, so let's subscribe under topics to that same topic that we just published to. Now let's update our message. And now we are subscribed to receive messages and we are able to publish messages. So let's send, and you can see by the up arrow, this is what the client has sent and also received because we are subscribed to receive those notifications. Okay, so you could have done that in the Home Assistant interface. They have a very limited interface to be able to test out to make sure that the Mosquito broker is working as expected. But let's take a look at what that might look like with an actual smart device. So I have saved messages here just prepared. And unless you have the exact same device setup that I have, it will not look the same for you. So whatever you're choosing to configure and stream MQTT data to and from will look slightly different on this particular step. So I've just loaded up another saved message. This one has the text toggle in all caps, as well as a topic here. So before we publish our data, let's go to topics and update our subscription. We only want to subscribe to this topic that we will be publishing to. And go back to our message and clear these messages so we have a little bit more room. And now we can send toggle on. And if you are looking at my screen, you can see that the light behind me is a Tasmota switch, is a light connected to a Tasmota smart switch, and I can toggle it on and off. All right, and this is just a one-time toggle send. I could have used a REST API for this, or I could have used WebSockets for this. But again, what MQTT is really good for is low bandwidth, low power devices, and those devices might be sending a constant stream of data. Maybe we're measuring the temperature in this room, and every few seconds that data is going to be coming in. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe, and let me know what you want to learn next.